12 seconds early. Hey, everybody. How goes it? Thanks, man. There's lots of chatter going on. Had to get a glass of water. My son bought me a Brita water filter while I was gone. I knew he was doing it, so had to get a glass of water, and here I am. Uh-oh. And of course, my computer wasn't muted because it's been 2 weeks since I've done a live and I forgot how to do all this. So real quick, let's say hi to everybody. And when I get down to the bottom of that, we'll get busy. Jeremy, haven't seen you for a little while, buddy. How you doing? If you guys aren't following Jeremy Doing It Wrong on Instagram, Jeremy, pop your link in, your Instagram link in, will you please, buddy? You guys and gals have no freaking idea how smart this guy and his wife are and the things that they get. You will be amazed if you aren't following and he's not doing it wrong on Instagram. I mean, that's not what his name is. He's definitely not doing it wrong. Anyway, hi Jeremy, how you doing? Summers, how are you doing? I'm gonna be. And Maria, looks like you took a little vacation and you are early. And Doug, hi buddy, how you doing? Let's see, Doug and Maria are talking about vacation. Gonna get down here. Maureen, I hope you're still there. I miss you so much. Every time I get choked up. I'm so glad you said hi. Thank you. She's been around for a long time. Kathleen Hathaway. How are you, Kathleen? Trying to get your stash of boxes. You're supposed to park the car in the garage. Good luck for that. Good luck. Who else have we got? Oh, I just lost my chat. There it goes. Bigger than expected yard. Lynn. Hi, Lynn. How are you? Sue, how are you? Amy. Hello. Jeanette. Oh, Maggie. Maggie sneaks in under the radar. Jack and Piper are here. It's actually just one person, but she likes to play. Melissa. Sue. Ethel. How are you, girl? Digging Dawson finds Anna, right? Oh, I'm never gonna live this down. Linda, you are new. Hi, how are you? Thank you, and welcome into the craziness that is us. Sabby Marie, I think you're new too. Let's see. I can't tell on Instagram, but let me get my chat down here. If you see me looking that way, I'm looking at my other computer. We have quite a few new people. Thank you for coming in. My friend T, if you guys aren't following her and if you need inventory, go check T out at Auctions for You and her partner. T is in South Carolina, is that correct, T? And then her partner and one very good friend, Donatella Bottolino, is in Florida, and they do auctions together daily. Mama Beth, how are you? KK, hey girl. BCP snuck in. Hi, buddy. How are you? Let's see. Amy, I got a big box in the mail from Amy today. I haven't opened it up yet because I kind of know what's in there. Dory, hello. Hi, Dory. Let's see. Holy moly. Harry, how you doing, buddy? All right. I think we made it. I'm new to this too. It's the first time I've watched a YouTube live. Yeah. All right. Okay, I'll believe that one. Never. Goofball. Oh. So obviously we like to have a little bit of fun. Did you win the new person in the chat food, please? That's hilarious, KK. All right. So for those of you just joining, I do have a little disclaimer that I felt I needed to put in here because I have been hearing from multiple people that I know everything. Noelle knows everything. I don't. I know a lot and I learn really fast, but there's a lot of stuff I don't know about. So when I get to that point where I am now, this was the shirt I wore to New York and I had to cover it up. I'm a ray of eBay sunshine, you guys. I do know a lot. I won't steer you wrong. If I don't have an answer or know something and you ask me, I will find somebody that does and I will send you to them. Shut the front door. Make sure the back door is shut too, Ethel. So I put this little disclaimer in the description. In no way, shape, or form am I anywhere close to an expert on any of this, nor will I ever claim to be, but I sure am able to research and point you towards people who are, as well as items that maybe you might want to keep your eyes open for. So, hi, Angie. How are you? If you guys aren't Angie has, let's see, she has her own channel. And she also does, goes back and forth with Bobby. He said hi earlier. Angie has a new podcast with Kristen and Rachel. If you want to drop your link for that, feel free to do that. Smart people are smart enough to know they don't know everything. Is that it? I'm going to leave that one up for a while. There's all... Thanks, BCP. There's always those people that you've been around all your life that know everything and have been everywhere and have done everything, but they really haven't. And I just don't want to be that person that everybody thinks that is. So anyway, there you go. Yeah, that's the podcast. So Angie, yeah. Doesn't start until next week. You could still put it in there. Sandy, it's nice to meet you. How are you? You're new, trying to learn. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to start with what I think I got to get. Oh, that's a shopping list. Okay, I got to get my, as my mother used to say, my pooping group here. I got my list. It's long. We're going to get through as much of it as we can. Professor Savage. I have a few things to show you that I have here. I have more in my storage and in my shop. But if you guys... I'm standing up, okay? Can you see the stuff back here? It's not... It's piled. I'm almost embarrassed to say this, but... That's my nightmare right now. Well, that's my desk. I have an L-shaped desk from IKEA that's a sit-stand desk. And the check's in the mail. You guys are all amazing. Anyway, so it's not as bad as it looks because a lot of the boxes underneath they're empty so that I fill them up as I'm listing. But my plane was delayed almost 4 hours between Rochester and Chicago. There was huge thunderstorms and stuff in Chicago. And by the time I got home at dark 30 Monday morning, which I should have been home Sunday evening, Dren was sick, had a fever. All day Monday, he laid on the couch in and out of consciousness, feverish, whatever. Tuesday, he was feeling a little bit better. Today, let's see, what is today? Thursday. Woo! Today, he has mostly just a cough. So, I mean, I haven't really done a lot. Needless to say, I put my store on vacation for 15 days with the ability, time away mode, with the ability for people to purchase, but my shipping was set out 15 days. That's as far as you can go. And so technically I have until tomorrow. I took my store off vacation as soon as I got home. Well, I gave myself one day. Dren was really sick and I didn't want to have to go ship or do anything. So I most of my shipping, everything had to be shipped by tomorrow. Tomorrow's a ship date. So I have 2 more things to ship. It's been super hot here and we just got back a little bit ago. You just want to see your favorite Japanese stuff. Can't say I blame you there. Anyway, so I want you guys to know, those of you that are scared, let's talk about vacation mode on eBay real quick. First off, if you know you're going on vacation, this isn't for somebody who's ill. If you know you are going to go on vacation, do not, absolutely do not send any offers to watchers out for 4 to 5 days before you leave. And here is why. They have 48 hours to accept that offer. And then they have up to 5 days to pay, right? Technically 4 before you can cancel it. So if you send an offer out to a watcher, I didn't even send any offers out for, I think it was 6 days. Because if they accept your offer at 48 hours and then they take the 4 days to pay, now you're 48, 4, 5, you're 6 days in. If they buy, if they pay and you're gone, you're screwed. I'm not even gonna mince words. So if you know you're gonna go on vacation, don't send out any offers to watchers, period. Don't accept any offers, period, unless it's 5 days before you're going to leave and you know you can ship that item if they pay for it before you leave. Does that make sense to you guys? The rest of the system works great. You have to think about the amount of time they get to look at that offer. And then with the fact that people don't pay right away and they're not made to pay right away, I don't have an issue with it. Here's the deal. People know how long they have to accept that offer. And then they know exactly how many days they have to pay, and they plan that out with their paychecks. So if you're sick and you have to turn your store off, that's a whole different thing, a whole different ball game, right? There's nothing you can do about offers you've sent out and stuff like that. But if you're leaving town, as in not going to be anywhere, not a staycation, not a planned medical something, not whatever, you're out, there's nobody. You need to not send any offers or accept any offers. I would go 7 days, technically. As soon as you put your store on vacation and you're gone, send out all the offers you want. Just hold off. Hold off for those 5 to 7 days. So in the 10 days I was gone, literally sitting in the airport waiting to get on the plane, I sold the Scream mask for, I think it was $477 total. But anyway, in the 10 days I was gone, I had 22 orders on eBay. No, 20 orders on eBay, 2 on Bonanza, and I grossed over $1,900 for those 22 orders. That's pretty darn good. And hi, Amy. So, if you ever have any questions about that, feel free to get a hold of me. You can message me on Instagram. If you can't find me on Instagram or you don't have an Instagram, you can come on one of my videos and send me a message, do whatever. But it's not as difficult as one would think. But when you get into those sending out offers and the amount of time they have to accept and the amount of time they have to be able to pay or accepting an offer, that's when you're going to get into some trouble with your shipping unless you have somebody that can ship for you. Luckily, when I got burnt and a couple of other times I had to put my store on vacation. My oldest son still lived up here and he did all my shipping for me, which was amazing. But now I don't have that. It's just me. I mean, absolutely, if I had to, my youngest son could have muddled his way through it. Hey, if you make 1900 when you are in New York for a week, I think you should do it again next month too. Oh, that's hilarious. I would love to come back. Jan's she's got some work cut out for her, but she can do it. Oh, did someone say trouble? Here he is right here, boatman. All right, so we are going to, let's see, in the description of this video, I put a couple of links to a couple of YouTube channels that if you guys want to learn and about from some people that I think are very good, that's just my opinion. You may not agree, and you're welcome to that. Josh Levine Speaks, Chinese Antiques last week at the auction, and then Peter Combs. Holy moly, go watch him. As a matter of fact, I'm going to share a little bit of one of his videos here in just a minute. If you just type, what's the title of this thing? Asian, Chinese, and Japanese antiques into YouTube, these people will come up. And I'll tell you what, it's quite a learning experience. Now, what they're talking about are a few of the things that I have here and on further, right? So I took art history in college and I really enjoyed it, and I probably would have enjoyed it more, but I was raising 2 kids and working 2.5 jobs and taking 30 credits at school. My art history teacher was high 95% of the time. So, and I was tired most of the time. So this has kind of been cool for me doing this series because I'm learning a lot of stuff that I knew a little bit about, and now I'm amping it up. Plus, it's out there for anybody, and it gives you guys an idea of things to look at that maybe you would have looked at. I mean, would you look at one of these seriously? Just like this. I mean, I looked at it. I knew what it was, and I knew what it was worth when I bought it. If you guys haven't watched, I think I put it out. It was called the high-end Portland estate sale that I went with Terry Gonzalez, who is Mindful Recycle. Go watch her. Can you grab her? Can you grab her link? Somebody, Mindful Recycle Terry. She's harassing me. She's harassing me today to go to an estate sale. I'm telling you. I told her she's what did I tell her? I said she's an enabler, and she laughed at me. Anyway, so these are plain, right? They're plain. They're just plain and white. It looks like something that you would see at Target, maybe at Walmart, at Fred Meyer's if you're from my neck of the woods, Kroger, Home Goods. This one. There's a set of them. There's 2. They're actually, there you go. The thing is with these is they could be, they had tags on them. Somebody replaced, took them off. But this one right here has a made in Japan tag on it. Ho ho. You're not going to find made in Japan. At least I don't think so, unless you guys know something I don't. At Home Goods and Target and Walmart and all of those places. So we all have a phone. And if you don't know how to use Google Lens, my friend Courtney at Bolo Buddies just put out a really good video on it. And there's many other people out there. So go find Courtney's video on how to use Google Lens. And and get that app put on your phone. Now, also through Google Lens, you can do Google Translate. I have found that sometimes you're better off to take a picture of something you want to translate and go in through Google to translate. It does better. It's frustrating, but I've done enough of it. And it's really difficult to do, to try to translate any of the Asian languages because there are so many dialects and so many. You guys, you know I'm going nuts right now because my screen's dirty. Hey, Dren. What? Oh, never mind. I know you can't see it, but I can. Sorry. I got it. Did you want to tell everybody hi or no? No? He's in Dren World. Anyway, so can you imagine it? Can you remember when we didn't have MapQuest? You guys remember MapQuest? You know, you had to write out directions. You just flew by the seat of your pants, right? Thank you so much, Bum Crack Picker, or as I lovingly call him, BCP. Lens only catches Asian characters if they're 100% cleanly printed. Yep. So going back to that, Peter Combs, Mr. Peter Combs, link in the description. His channel is all about Asian stuff, and you guys, if I can't, I'll be. He puts out a new thing every week. I'll be. That's the kind of stuff I'll waste my time watching. As much as I love Law and Order, I haven't watched in years. Sons of Anarchy, I cannot believe that. I mean, I'm way behind on the times. Those are the things that I used to watch. I don't watch anything. I will watch some of you people, some other people, and I will watch educational stuff like this because I want to learn, because it's only going to make me a better sorcerer. It's only going to make my brain better, and then that way I can pass that along to you guys or to whoever, right? So, yeah, you used real maps back then, right, Maggie? 100%. I mean, I flagged. I was a flagger. I worked a night shift job and I flagged during the day. I came home long enough to get my kids off to school and off I went to flag. I did that for a while. That was interesting. Yeah, and you had to have the latest, greatest updated book. The Rand McNally for whatever area you were in. You hated the Sons of Anarchy ending. I did too. But they left it open for them to start again. So what the heck? What are they waiting for? Hi, Mia. How are you? Thanks for coming in. So, I was trying to remember the name of that show last night. So I want to start with one of the items that I think that you all should know. And if you don't, hey, Chrissy, how are you? Thank you for coming in. You're cooking. Sorry you ended up cooking. And let's see. Sabi Marie, what would you do if you only see only one food dog? Yep. Nope. One is not hard to sell. Absolutely. One is not hard to sell. Hi, Jeanette. What video should I watch that tells why you moved from the farm, or do you have one? I do. I think I'm standing in front of the barn. We moved from the farm because we sold it. I believe I'm standing in the front of the barn and it says it's time to say goodbye or something. That was my last day there. Something like that. And I walk around the farm and and just kind of a last walk through. I kind of did that for my kids because none of them were there, and it was just me, myself, and my however many personalities I have. Flagging, iron bladder, for sure. Hi, Marie. How are you? Yep, I re-pierced my nose wherever it is. I had to remove it when I had cancer, put it back in. Then when I got burnt, I took it out because I was having so many medical procedures. And there you go. There it is. Whoop, there it is. Food dogs can also be called food lions. They can also be called food dragons. I learned a lot. I've been listening. I had my earbuds in today, and I was listening to a lot of stuff. So 100%. And then there's all the different dynasties for Chinese and Japanese and Asian, more Japanese, Chinese dynasties, Japanese. Oh gosh, you guys, I've listened to so much stuff today. My mind is like, but if you guys really enjoy and you want to learn, I'm telling you right now, there are so many estate sales and such where you are going to see, how about these? Would you guys pick these up? There's 2 of them. I only have 2. Well, let me tell you something. Dren's mom's side of the family is Vietnamese, and his grandmother, his great grandparents see him. They're the only ones that see him, and they, holy moly, their house is like, I have looked so many things up for them. Well, they gave me, actually they didn't. I bought these 2. They thought these went with these. They got them at a garage sale. And I think I paid them $2 for the whole set. And I told them, I said, well, these aren't really anything exciting. And they go, yeah, they are. And I go, no, they're not. They're Fitz and Floyd. Now, if you guys know, please give the name of the YouTuber sharing. It's in the description, Karen. It's down in the description. Peter Combs. There's 2 different YouTube channels that I have linked down in the description. One is Mr. Peter Combs, and the other is Josh Levine. And Josh has quite a few things too. Anyway, it's not that these aren't worth anything. They absolutely are. Fitz and Floyd sells well, especially if it's retired and vintage. I think that these, yeah, the Fitz and Floyd pattern is fire. So I didn't look these up. I've had them for a while. They just happened to be, it just happened to be that I hadn't taken them down to the shop yet. These will get listed tonight. Because I got to get some stuff listed, you guys. And I love Fitz and Floyd. But honestly, Fitz and Floyd is not, I mean, how many different companies can put an Asian inspired motif on their stuff? Many, many, many. And so it's kind of funny because I think we get set in our design style or the things that we like and mid-century modern and all that kind of stuff. Well, when we're talking about the things that we like, then we will refer to them as in eras around World War I, World War II. When you're talking Asian and Chinese antiques and collectibles, we're going back to the 1500s, the 1600s, the 1700s, and each one of those is a different dynasty and has a different name. And then you may still continue to see the symbol for that dynasty, for that emperor's reign being used continuously. So when I say to go watch Mr. Peter Combs, if you're really interested in this and learning it, man, I learned so much from him today and just listening to a couple of his videos. It's amazing. But for right now, I want to talk about, let's share my screen here because we know I have problems with that. Let me pull up. Let's see. I want to make sure that this is all sharing because I want you to listen to, okay. We are going to listen to a little bit of Mr. Peter Combs right here.
Very prolific period. And if you're new to collecting Chinese porcelain, you're likely to encounter a lot of it out there, especially here in the United States and in Europe.
Can you guys hear this?
Camille Rose was developed originally in the late Kangxi period, the very end of that period. And it became a turning point for Chinese porcelain decorators throughout the 18th and into the 19th century. And we're going to start with this first piece. This is a style of plate that was developed during the Qinlong period, a peach pattern plate. And these were given usually on, I believe it was 60th birthdays. They continued to be made right through the 18th, 19th, and into the 20th century. This is a late 19th century example.
Pay attention to these designs on the bottoms.
Back, that sort of stout cream-colored foot and bamboo leaf decoration. We'll see a few more of these as we go along. Here is a set of nesting cups. And these were produced during the, around the mid to late 19th century. They're fairly thin-walled, very delicately painted, and usually depict scenes of daily domestic life in China and people pursuing activities. I love the horse in this. The Chinese do great things when they paint horses, so always keep an eye out. They're very expressive, often cartoonish in appearance. Here's the bottom of these cups and what they look like. The glaze ends pretty neatly around the foot. There's a little trimming there. They have to be trimmed because after these cups are all produced, they're intended to be used and placed in stacks like this. The feet aren't nice and neatly done. They'll chip away the enamel from the into the base below it on the next cup down. But they're very collectible and they're quite valuable these days. So if you see a set, try to buy them. And this is it's a European form. This was a fairly large piece. This was about 8 inches wide. It's a hair receiver, but the decoration is pure mid-19th century. And here's a view of the bottom with those little spur marks. There's 5 of them on there. These are also known as sagas. They're placed on there to support the bottom of the piece while it's being fired. You see them on Chinese, but more often on Japanese things. But that's a Chinese example. Here is a lozenge-shaped plate, mid-19th century or later. They were produced in very large quantities for use in China, and a lot of them were exported. And this is the bottom of it. Notice it has some orange peel and the white glaze, the faux rubber stamp applied Qinlong mark on the bottom, and that very classic paste on the foot. Always look at the foot. This is a 19.
Okay. I'm just telling you guys, and let's see, I see a few people came in. I'm sorry it was blurry, but if you go down in the description of this video, you're gonna get him, and then every week he does something new, and they have literally a library where they have taken these books and they have scanned them in and can go through so you don't have to buy them. It's just freaking amazing. And I'm so glad I stumbled upon him. Hi, Charnel and Tina. How are you? Thanks for coming in. Who else did I miss? B Avenue Thrifter. Hello, hello, hello. So if you want to learn about that kind of stuff, and I'm going to have some of it here, believe it or not. And I have sold some of it before, believe it or not, because I am interested in that, and it's beautiful. And unless you have been raised in that culture or have been around that, maybe I should talk for myself. Unless you have been raised in that culture or have been around that, it's not something you see on the daily when you're going in and out of people's houses. We had a store at the Jansen Beach Center Mall over here in Portland. It's just right across the bridge from me, and it was called International Imports and Terry Mindful Recycle, and that was my favorite store to go into. It had the coolest stuff. I could spend hours in there. It had a main floor and then a downstairs and an upstairs, and so it's a different way of life. And I'll tell you what, I learned some things watching a couple of his I put my phone up on the windowsill in the kitchen when I'm doing dishes and stuff, and that way I can kind of watch when it's stuff that I really want to see. But you figure out a way to multitask so that you can see the things that you want to see. Otherwise, just listen and then go back later if there's something that you really wanted to see, right? But you can take in a lot listening and not necessarily having the visual, and then go back and add the visual. So that was something that I really wanted you guys to see because I think it's important if you're interested in it. And if you shop at a lot of estate sales, especially when you hit some of the higher end ones, you are going to see a lot of Asian inspired artwork and dishes and stuff like that. And especially if you're in the South, because the South and the East Coast, because they imported it. It was made and imported for very wealthy families back then. And there's another channel that I was watching today, pretty snooty antique guy, in my opinion. That's horrible, isn't it? But it's funny. Each one of them, you can learn a lot of the same thing, but you can learn a little bit different things. Like I learned some stuff. There's a lot of Asian and Chinese and Japanese dish sets, famille rose, and rose medallion. Famille rose is and rose medallion are basically the same thing, if that makes sense. Hi, Beth. How are you? Thanks for dropping in. So, I mean, they really aren't, but they are. There is a lot of there is a lot of Asian Chinese dishes that are blue. They look like Flo Blue. They look like Staffordshire of England. So I'll have to go back and find that one and add it in, because there's a lot of learning to do if this is something that you're interested to do. So let's talk about something that I wanted to talk about that I wasn't sure if I was going to remember. So let's go here. These dolls, the Japanese Kokishi dolls, I think I said that right. If not, well, it's as close as we're going to get. They come in all different shapes and sizes, and they are usually hand done. Vintage 1950s turned Japanese wooden vintage Kokishi doll, traditional koesa. Let's say I didn't open it up. I'm just kind of pulling a few up, but some of them have bobbleheads, the woodcraft and culture of Japan's iconic wooden dolls. I just really don't think it would be right for me to focus only on things that we may not see that often. There are a lot of us, I'm going to say, that don't have great sourcing opportunities like I do here in the Pacific Northwest. There's a lot of you that live in middle America, very rural America, and your sourcing opportunities may be a high bid auction or something like this. So there are many, many, many different styles and shapes, and sometimes you will find sometimes you will find a set that still have the raw edge. Boy, it's taken forever for this to load. See how these still have the raw edge of the tree on them. Large vintage Japanese Kokishi dolls, carved wood, hand painted, signed. And when they say signed, let's see if lots of times the signatures on these, let's see if they show it, are going to be somewhere on the doll, not necessarily, well, right here. Do you see that spot right there? That will be a signature. And then it's signed down here also. If you are into Russian nesting dolls and you find a bunch of them, always look at the bottom. The majority of the truly sought after ones will be signed on the bottom. There's your extra bolo that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Now, this one right here is just a plastic one that doesn't mean anything. You guys probably know by now that, well, let's just pull this up. I'm going to ask this question. What is one of the most sought after, I don't know how to phrase it. Russia is Asia. Jeremy. I didn't freeze. It's just me. My brain froze. Are you kidding me? Wow. My little kitty. Why can't I think to save my life right now? Here we go. Hello, Kitty. That's what the problem was. Hello, Kitty. Anything Sanrio, right? You have, look at all the choices you've got up here. Wallpaper, pink, cute, coloring, birthday, drawing, Sanrio. This is Japanese, you guys. My little kitty. Hello Kitty this is a totally different genre, but it's still collectible. It's still Asian inspired, right? So, hey Swamp, hey Glenn, how you doing? So you have to keep in mind, it's just like being in America, right? You got Mickey Mouse and Speed Racer and Wonder Woman and all of that. Well, in Japan, they have My Little Kitty, and then they have all of the other anime and stuff like that. So when we're talking about Asian, I know I put antiques, but these are collectibles, right? This falls into the collectibles category. So there's such a wide genre. It's no different than somebody flying over here from Japan and walking around and they're like, oh my gosh, what? Check it out. It's King Kong. My son got this for me, but I mean, do they have King Kong and Godzilla over there? They do. There's a mixture, right? And Japan is one of the, Japan imports a lot. Hey, Jan. Hey, my friend. How you doing, girl? Japan imports a lot. I mean, you guys, Disney, if you're a seller, I know some of you are not. If you are you asking about plastic like compounds like Bakelite? I'm not asking who are you talking to, Karen? Sailor Moon, all of those. All of those. So, I mean, we can go from the Quan here. Let me read it here. The Da Quin Quan Long Ni Z. Don't even go there. First person that says anything about me pronunciating something wrong is going to get blocked, because if you have problems with people pronunciating things wrong, then you get on a YouTube channel and you do it correctly. Okay? That's my take on that. I don't deal with anybody that is knocking somebody for their pronunciation. Nobody's perfect. All right, that's my little rant on that. So, it's all easily looked up. I have a college education. That doesn't mean that I can pronounce everything correctly. All right. I've been wanting to say that for a while. With that, I'm going to have a drink of water. I think Hello Kitty's been around longer than that, Justin, but I mean, who knows? I mean, it's an easy Google search, but yeah, it's been around. It's been easily been around. 37 boxes packed. You go, girl. She's a machine. So we have so many areas we can go from the collectibles area, and then you have the antiques, right? Thinking about some, don't do it. My neighbor Totoro, I need to finish the original again. I think I'm behind on that one. Sorry. All right. I'm gonna, that's an A-B conversation. I'm gonna see myself out of it. 1974. Thanks, Marie. So as a matter of fact, while I was packing my orders today, I found a tote that I bought. So you guys are gonna kill me. It was I have a huge thing of Hello Kitty Sanrio stuff that is from the 70s. So, and most of them are new and packaged. I really need to get that stuff listed. So we talked about, I want you guys to understand that this isn't just the antique and the porcelain and the brass and the enamel and the dragonware and the Saki. Hi Dave, how are you? And for those of you that don't know, this is my buddy Dave, and that's Enoch in his picture there. Anyway, oh boy. There are so clothes, Asian inspired clothes, not just Asian inspired clothes, but clothing made from Asian designers. What? They have Asian designers? It's not all Calvin Klein and let's see, I can't even think. I don't know, Spencer's. That's where I got this at. I'm just joking. But you understand that the Asian market is just as broad as in those of you that are here, as our market, as our tastes, and then you can go into other genres, right? You can go into Eastern Europe and the Muslims. Well, then you still kind of are Asian there because you've got the Buddha, and so let's go into Pakistan and Egypt and all of those. You have a whole nother culture of items that may be still very similar. You have 3 more people to pack. So it's a long job, but I'm going to talk to you about a few things that I have here, and then I have a list of things to talk about now that we've gotten that down. The first thing I want to show you, that charger plate that I showed in the video, the high-end of Portland estate sale that I bought. It had a little sticker on it that said, I knew, it said event, where they bought it from. They bought it from the Antique Village, wherever that was. And the description was Rose Medallion Charger, and they paid $175. Who knows how many years ago, because this came from an estate that there just either there wasn't enough room for them to have. Woohoo! 500 listings, you go. Either there wasn't enough room for parking, or there was too much stuff in the estate, but they rented this huge warehouse in downtown Old Town Portland. And I didn't even see it all. I think I dropped run off at school and then I got there, but I did buy this plate for $75. Yes, I did, because I have it listed. Well, I will have it listed as soon as I take pictures for $4.99. I want you to take a good look at it, because this is a raised motif. It's not flat like a lot of the other ones, and you can really see it there in the pink right there. And it also has the black barrels, garden barrels on it. It's got butterflies. Right here's a butterfly. It's got, let's see if I can, I'm trying to be able to get it close enough. It's got people in a courtyard. But if you see right here where this line is, trying not to drop, this thing is heavy. It's 7 pounds. If you see right here where this line is all the way around, there are no other plates. I found 2 other plates like this without this. They're that much smaller. This is 14 inches. It's 36.5 centimeters. And now it has the printed, but it also has these. This is hard backwards. Someday I'll get it. Also has these other 2 marks right here, which I couldn't read, but I think one of them was good enough to say country. Anything after 19, don't quote me on it, 20 had to be marked China, or where it came from. And so I know this is older than this. This is from this stamp, not necessarily this plate, is from the period Da, and it's Qing, and then Qianlong, Nianzhi, or the Great Qing Quanlong period, which the stamp, which is 1736 to 1795. I'm not telling you that this plate itself is from that period, but that's what that stamp is from that time frame, and you will see that a lot. Now, I know enough to know that this is old. It is antique, and I also know enough to know that these pieces right here are more Cantonese. Now you can, and there is Cantonese famille rose, and this is famille rose. This isn't what they had. Where'd my paper go? I lost it. They had rose medallion, which basically is the roses. And they call these roses, but really they're peonies. So this is their rose medallion. So this, and usually this centerpiece will be just the rose. This is a rose medallion, a rose peony with a bird that has what it makes it look like a peacock, which it's not. If you really can look at it, it's a bird sitting, I don't know, looks like it's sitting on the top of a stream. Needless to say, I don't know, but there's a book here. See it? And then there's parchment rolls here. And I'm not quite sure that I have figured out what this is, but I believe this is some kind of a plate. It could either be called a charger or a platter or a cabinet plate. And I believe this has something to do with school, graduation, something. The raised design is just a raised enamel. And then this is all gold, 24 karat gold, all of this around here. And you will see that it's normal for it to have wear. These were used. They didn't just, I mean, not now, right? A gal that I did a lot of landscaping from has a huge cabinet full of these. She has nobody to give them to. And I told her, I said, keep me in mind when you're ready to get rid of them. So this is, look at you guys. This is, like I said, it's 14 inches across. This is a design. I spent about 2 hours today researching this. I found one that is located in New Zealand. It's just the plate. It doesn't have that extra inch. That's an inch and a half. This band right here, from here to here, is an inch and a half. The other two plates, there's one on Etsy for $275, and the one that I found that's located in New Zealand is actually on a site called antiques.com, which is a site that's similar to Etsy and eBay. You can go on and have a store and list your items and stuff like that. But it took me a long time of looking and doing a lot of Google lensing to find something that had these actual barrels and this guitar. I think it's a guitar, some kind of a leaf pattern. See the green one with the black outline. Anyway, we'll see, because my experience has been pretty positive when you list something. If there's somebody out there, and if there's people, is it called rose famille? No, the rose famille has to do with the different colorings of the pink and the time frame. And then another thing I learned today is this design right here, which looks like Greek. That was something that it's just the different artisans and the so much to remember. And I don't want to give you guys bad advice. Go watch that guy, Peter Combs. Just go watch him. Listen to him. He's got a pretty soothing voice, and he just goes on, and he just goes on and on. And I wish I had his knowledge. Oh my goodness. I would not call it rare. There was more than one made. There's more than 10 made. It's scarce, hard to find. Yes. Rare? No. I found 2 others. I didn't find one exactly like mine because mine's bigger, right? But I found 2 others with that exact same design, which is hard, because go look them up. We will here in just a minute. The amount of plates and rose medallion, rose famille, all of that stuff that's out there is amazing. I think what's even more amazing is the fact that I'm gonna slap you next time I see you medium rare, is the amount of people that don't know what they have. Is that bad? No, I guess not. Some people don't want to do the research. They know they have something exciting. They take the pictures, they put it up there, they grab a price, and they put it out there. Is that good for you and me if we might know what they have? Yeah, you go buy it, right? Mark it up. Sorry, I'm reading. I'm trying to figure out the Greek key. Thank you, Ethel. Anyway, you'll see that in a lot of the older patterns. Also, it's finding this raised enamel seems to be what I'm seeing more on the Cantonese famille. So I'm going to put some keywords. What did I do for my draft? Let's see. I'll tell you what I have written for my draft. I think they must have stalled the feedback. I haven't gotten feedback in weeks. Well, no feedback is good feedback, right? What I wrote is antique Queen, I don't know, QING dynasty, famille, rose, charger, seal, mark of Da Queen Quan Long Non Z. That's my title. And then I have more stuff in the I'll read you my description. Want them to know I know a little bit about it. People are really good about helping you. I think it said King. You might be right. So I put large Chinese famille rose pattern plate charger platter. measuring 14 inches, 35.5 centimeters diameter. Bird and butterfly designs with pink roses, aka peonies, and scenes of courtyard life. There is an additional 1.5-inch outer band that depicts books, parchment rolls with more flowers, possibly suggesting a graduation or something to do with education. Gold rim, highlights, and central circular band. The rear has what appears to be 2 maker's marks, along with the Chinese red underglaze seal mark for the King Quan blah, 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 period. This is so technical, you guys. This is for the period 1736 to 1795. However, given the propensity to copy marks, this plate is probably early 20th century. I leave it up to you to decide. It has a matte appearance and feel and raised feel to the enamels. A bit of dirt yellowing to the rear with no damage other than normal age wear, which should be expected, and 3 pieces of felt attached to protect the plate where it rests. That's it. That's what I got. Oops. That's what I got for that plate, and I am going to list it for $499. Best offer. Buy it now with best offer. They pay shipping. Must have tried to list it without the pictures because it's not wanting to let me list it. Anyway, that's what I got for it. That's what I'm going to put out for it, and we'll see. I have had a very old piece of rose medallion before. It was cracked. It was chipped. It was beautiful. I was able to date it. I sold it for almost $200 in the condition that it was in. So please, 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 you guys and gals and peoples and humans, that covers everybody, I think. Hi, Tony. Just because you see a piece of this damage does not mean you should discount it. And another thing that I want to bring up too is anybody that is familiar with Limoges, which is French, right? The Limoges factories. If you aren't, why, thank you very much, Marianne. Well, that's why I put the tape over it. I didn't want it to be too offensive to anybody, but you know, I'm feeling. Oh no. Yep, Tony's here. Watch out. This guy right here, he's the bomb diggity. Diggity, diggity, diggity. I got the chance to meet him when I was in New York when he is one of Doug's childhood friends, and he rode up with Doug to meet Karen and I. You're trying to get me in trouble, buddy. Hi, Annie Christie. How are you? So, I bought a marble. Jan did a sale on somebody else's channel. And she had a piece and she made me mad because I told her what it was, but she was tired. And I ended up buying it because I knew she was going to let somebody have it. And she was so tired that she had researched it. She had George look at it. And so it wasn't that she didn't know what she had, but I don't really think she knew what she had. I was sitting outside listening to her explain it, and I was like, anyway, I bought it. It's damaged. It's okay. I paid $70 for it, and I'll tell you why. It has a pedestal that it sits on, and the spot for the feet are cut out. Anybody know? Jan, you be quiet. And Brett and Doug. Anybody know what this is for? It's damaged. This piece right here is broken. I have the piece right here. I want to say that this is resin. However, I'm going to take a hot needle and poke through it, but I think somebody else did because I saw a spot on here. See that hole right there? There isn't one on this side. It is not ivory. I'm 100% sure of that. I'm pretty sure it's okay, Annie Christie, what is it? Just put it in the description. Put it in the chat. Tell me what it is. It's got a design there. It's got a maker's mark here. These are not cheap. Even the resin ones or the if you guys think there's an animal out there that has bones this big that you could it is an incense pot, correct. An incense burner. Yes. And it was well used. And no, I will not be cleaning it out because that's what's in there. I will not be cleaning this at all. I will probably be listing this for close to $700 because that's what it's worth. I have to do a little bit more research on it. Smoking in a bowl, that's right. It has the food dogs on it. I actually found this exact one that's ivory. This exact pattern, this exact everything. This was copied off of an antique ivory one. And anyway, so I brought this home on the plane. I had to go buy another. Maybe it's Bigfoot's bones. Could be right. Sasquatch. We got him. When you see items like that and you look at them and you touch them and they feel fake, they fake as in not ivory. If that was ivory, you couldn't do anything with it except for enjoy it in your own home, right? Depending on the age of it. If you took it and had it aged, had it checked out, there's ways to do it yourself. But if you took it to a museum or somebody that does that and had them put a date on it, then you can sell it. There's that fine line there. The newer ivory, there's a whole. Go, Don the Auction Professor has an amazing video on all of it. All right, we'll just leave it there. There's probably many other people that do too, but I respect him, and he does very good research. So there's your guy. Sold something anyway. So Jan made out. She got rid of something. I bought something. Jan got something. I got something. Somebody else is going to get something because I'm probably not going to be anywhere near what it's probably worth. So, and that's how it goes, right? The more you know, the better you get, the better you can price things, the better you can. Which would be more searched, food dogs or dragons? I don't know. You'd have to look that up on the numbers. Have no clue. I have no clue. Cannot answer that. Not even going to attempt to. But they come in all different shapes and sizes. And I'll tell you what, almost every vase and bowl, and it's funny, I've seen a lot of, I had a today, that same video that I was showing you. If you go a little further in, he showed you the hair receptacle. We're all familiar with that, right? Oh, let me get back to the Limoges because that has to do with that hair receptacle. So Limoges was a place in France, and Limoges pottery, porcelain, ceramics was made at this factory. Hello, sourcing treasures. So you will find a lot of porcelain, a lot of china that is Limoges. It is true Limoges. They painted it there at the factory. They produced it there at the factory. But you will also, I'm sure they do. I'm sure they come in all different kinds of jade. They come in jade. They come in clear quartz, jade, clear quartz. That's They come in jade, and they come in, there's a clear jade, a white jade, and they probably also come in, what's the green pottery? They may come in soapstone. I didn't see any, but that means absolutely nothing. It'll come to me in a little bit. So Limoges made blanks. The factory themselves made blanks. And you will see, it could be soapstone. I don't know that it's quite heavy enough for that, but it could be. I'm going to heat up a needle and see if it goes through. The reason why you guys don't let me forget the Limoges story. It's important. The reason why I'm reluctant to say it's resin is because on a little jadeite, I don't know. It could be. Somebody had one on a Reddit post, and they took really good pictures of it. And one of the first, because they couldn't figure out what it was, they didn't think it was ivory. I took some really close-up pictures of the broken areas and the bottoms of the feet. I don't think it's George didn't think it was ivory. I don't think it's ivory. It doesn't have the right. I have some ivory pieces. It doesn't feel right to be ivory. It's almost too heavy, in my opinion. Who am I? But it doesn't have any seams. And the one that this guy had was beautiful. And one of the first comments from somebody else was that he felt that his was most definitely resin because you could see the seams and the pressings from the molds. And I did some pretty detailed looking at that, and I couldn't see. So I'll figure it out sooner or later, you know. Meanwhile, I'll enjoy it because it's beautiful. And do that, you guys. Enjoy your items. It's beautiful. So I'm gonna enjoy it while I figure out what it is. If I may take it over to Portland to the Chinese gardens and have them look at it, because why not? I got it. They're not that far away. Somebody over there would be happy to help me, and they may laugh at me, and I'm okay with that because guess what? It's a learning experience that I'll never forget. All right, back to the Limoges. The Limoges factory during one of the wars, I'm going to say World War I, between World War I and World War II. Don't quote me on that. You can do your research on that. Made a lot of blanks. They sent blanks out, as in it was just the porcelain or the china, nothing on it. And many of them weren't even marked on the bottom. Somebody asked in one of the Facebook groups, they had some Limoges, and it was a cobalt blue Limoges, but it didn't have a marking on the bottom of them. I told them what it was. Somebody else basically came in and said, well, I've never seen Limoges that wasn't marked. And so I just deleted my comment and moved on because I was like, whatever. I'm not a player of those games. Anyway, I just don't answer questions anymore. If somebody has a question for me, they know where to find me. So Limoges was put out as blanks. Some of them had the Limoges factory on them. Some of them didn't. Some of the Asian things have markings. How many times have you had a whole set of china in front of you, and you picked up 5 or 6 different pieces, and only one of them was marked? They all had the same print. They were the set, but only one piece of that was marked. How many times have you done that? It's not uncommon for pieces to not be marked. So that hair receptacle that he showed was Limoges. It was Limoges china that had been sent, blanks had been sent to China, and then they painted the Chinese artisans painted all the designs on it, and then off it went. Limoges also sent tons of blanks here to the United States, and to France because women had nothing to do. And so when I say, let me back up here a minute. Women of means had nothing to do. So that was their thing. You will see tons of beautiful plates and platters and maybe teacups and saucers that are hand painted, maybe signed on the bottom, maybe not signed on the bottom, that were done just like as if you would walk into a ceramic store, somebody who does ceramics and teaches and allows you to come in and buy and do just like that. Limoges did that. Doing it wrong. Does that make sense? So there are a lot of pieces of Asian and Chinese porcelain collectibles, even from way back, that are a Limoges piece decorated by a Chinese artist. So keep that in mind. That's a collab right there. Anyway, it's like all this unnecessary stuff, and I can't get it out of my head, so you have to suffer through it too. That's where it is. That's okay, Constance. You can always come back and suffer through the beginning. All right, so that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. You will find all kinds of Limoges porcelain with Asian, Chinese, not so sure about the Japanese, but it wouldn't surprise me. And then you'll find it that and it is a Limoges piece of porcelain or ceramic, but it's not, the design on it isn't from the Limoges factory. How's that? Does that make sense? Clear as mud? All right. Moving on. So, that's just a little bit. What about the Asian enamel pieces? Prices are all over the place. They are. And it's, Noritake blanks are as common as Limoges blanks. Exactly, for sure. They dominated Asia. And, same with, I believe, Satsuma. Satsuma is, man, you guys got to go. I learned so much. And now it's, because it's fresh, it's kind of, I took in too much at one time. So I'm trying not to muddle up, but I'll tell you what, I dropped those 2 channels in because wow. There's so much to learn. Now, I don't know how many of you saw last year when I went to New York, I met up with my friend Dominic Carone, Primetime Treasure Hunter, and we went to an estate sale. And unfortunately, there was 3 other people there that I didn't get to spend much time with because we were spending so much time going through the kitchen and stuff at this estate sale that they ditched us. Rightly so. And I didn't go and visit with anybody this time when I was there. Yep. Absolutely, Jeremy. I just can't even tell you. Hey, Courtney, I'm already done talking about you, and we dropped some of your links in earlier. You guys, give my girl Courtney a hello. So I talked about Chinese dragonware. I don't know what Dren's doing, but so let me go over here. I know I'm not sharing. Oh, wow. All right. Boy, Mike. I hope I'm not too fuzzy. I don't seem to be. I'm laughing at myself and talking to myself and answering back. Well, you guys are all like, what the heck? All right. Let's go check this out, you guys. Japanese dragonware, excuse me, is amazing. I have several sets. One of these days, I will get them listed when I'm all settled in here. Let's do this one. They come in many different shapes, sizes, motifs, but can you, let's see if it's gonna let me. Can you see how it's raised here? This dragon is actually a three-dimensional. I don't know why it's not letting me. There we go. Something else, and here's the plates, and they will also be three-dimensional. All of this white that's on here is raised. Anybody out there ever done ceramics? I painted ceramics for years. The cool thing about, I was hoping to see one that showed the ones that are really sought after have a geisha in the here we go, geisha girl right here. When you hold up the teapot, the teacup to the light like this, you will see through and you will see this. A geisha girl. Now, there are naughty geisha girls, and they are not the original ones. A lot of people think that that they're worth more money. I really don't think they are. A lot of people don't talk about them. The reason I'm talking about them is because this was something else that I got. I'm going to try to cover up the bad part. From Dren's grandparents was this set of Saki Cups, and they are pretty much, she's naked there. There's 5 of them, and they are based off of, I'm not going to show you the other ones because, well, I'm not. You can look them up. These are Saki Cups. Anyway, they are very risque for some people. They sell for about, let's see, I'm listing mine for $79.99, but you guys, those of you that know me, know I list my stuff up 30% higher so that I can put it on sale. I can take a best offer. I also add in my eBay fees, any other kind of fees, promoted listings, all of that goes into my markup. And I'll tell you what, I haven't ran a sale in my store for almost 3 months, and everything that I sold while I was gone was full price, except for the Scream mask. I had that listed for $6.99, and that was a dream. But to sell it for $4.25 when I should have probably gotten right around $2.30, $2.40 for it, I'm pretty happy with that. So these Saki sets are the same as anything else, and you will have a Saki bottle. Saki is Japanese, right? We're going back and forth between Chinese and Japanese. But you will see a lot of these, back to the stream here, you will see a lot of these dragonware pots, teapots, teacups. Even if you just see a piece, I have 2 sets of the demitas, however you want to pronounce it. They are the chocolate. They're tiny, so that's more the chocolate pot size. That are, one of them is missing the top of the teapot. Can I still sell it like that? I absolutely can. But guess what? If I see one for sale that I think will fit it, I will buy it because it will immediately raise the price of those up. So I want you to see what these are going for, and they literally are. This is a gorgeous set right here. I have a couple pieces of this. Let's see if I can find what that. This has a lot of stone red. That's beautiful. Here's another similar. And so keep your eyes out for these. They may look gaudy. They may look over the top. They may look like they're fake. They may look like something that you would just go, oh my gosh, because it's not your taste. Well, nobody's caring about your taste if you're buying to resell. We are resellers. We are buying to resell. Those of us that are resellers, we are purchasing things that other people want, purchasing things that go for a lot of money that maybe we can pick up for an inexpensive price. I'll pay up for something if I know what it's worth. I have worked my way up to that. So I love Satsuma too. There's a whole long story about that. Our Dragonware Cup and Saucer were World War II. Oh boy, I bet. So, that's one thing. I hate video games. Literally hate them. I worked my butt off as a single mom, and I funded many a video game. I literally hate them. But I know what they're worth because I've spent so much money on them. So when I see them, I'll look them up. But 9 times out of 10, you won't. I have some in my store that were my kids. Thanks, Muriel. We have to look at things that we don't like necessarily and realize that there's a market for them out there that is hot right now. Asian anything is hot, whether it's anime, the books, the Hello Kitty. You've got Sailor Moon. That's in the millennial area right now, right? And then you have all of these antiques and these food dogs. People love these things. It doesn't matter what age. This set of food dogs right here is going for about $400. I paid $18 for the set. So if you watch that, my video, my high-end estate sale video, then you'll see at the very end where I picked these up. And you'll also see a piece that I comped and begged Terry to take. She paid for it, but it was funny because I had looked at it before and I was tired. I knew I had to go. Terry was tired. Her blood sugar was dropping. But that piece that was there had sold. The exact same piece had similar, and hers had one small defect on it. And the one we looked at, same markings on the bottom, everything had sold for over $2,000. Japan makes that food dog, Constance. That's all I know right now. It was made in Japan. There's 2 of them. So yes, you can sell food dogs separately. And we have the big Buddha statues, right? Different size Buddha statues. Buddha statues come in brass. They come in porcelain. They come in ceramic. They come in enamel. They come in all different shapes and sizes and colors and you name it. They could be jade. They could be soapstone. They could be anything, ivory, whatever. You used to really like Han Flying Horses. You heard him. You heard Peter McComb in the beginning when I played that the Chinese were brilliant with their horses. Look at some of the Chinese checkers and games and stuff like that. The little figures that they carved for their children to play with and stuff like that. I mean, it's amazing. And I'm talking about this. It's Thursday. Any of you guys going sourcing tomorrow to estate sales or sales, you're going to be drawn to looking at stuff like this because your mind's thinking about it freshly, right? The little balls, usually they're enamel and they're brass and they're the latter day answer to the fidget spinners, right? Why can't I think what they're called? And some of them they're all different sizes, right? And some of them would have little bells, so soothing, not loud, almost like a muted gong. Somebody tell me what they're called. I'll look them up. I can't think of. What the heck? But thank you, Jeremy. These sell of you. These sell. Let's see if we can find any. Here's a set of musical ones. These sell for some pretty good money. $45 for these, and they're not even enamel. These ones look to me to be brass balls with peacock. Here, let's check it out. There'll be some more on here. I need to get rid of a couple of. When you see these cases like this, open them up. $45. Chinese musical Benwa balls, peacock luster, and a blue silk covered box. Ancient Chinese medicine decor, but basically you would hold them in your hands, and that's what you use them for. Ancient city, health ball, factory, boating, China. And normally when you see them, the ones that I have sold, I haven't seen personally a pair in my hands. You'll see these ones right here that are Koisine. Holy moly, you guys. Koisine. That's a whole nother thing. One of these guys, I'm going to find that. I got to write that down. I'm going to put in the description. I'll come back and put it in. Who it was. They did a whole thing. They went back on the history of Koisine, how it was made, why it started, all that good stuff. And wow, that was totally enlightening. And to clear up to modern day. So when you see these $34, lots of times you can pick these up for nothing. Even if you only find one, pick it up. All kinds of things you can do. And obviously they have newer versions of them. So, I mean, why not? But the older ones that, are, I have a feeling we're going to get into something that I don't want to get into. So, what do I want to talk about? Let's go to... it might help if I actually spell it right? Food dogs. Food dogs. Look at you guys. Just first dibs. They have high prices, but they get high prices because they know what they have. And I've done a lot of research using first dibs. Look at the prices on these. Let's see if my little white ones are just, there is not a food dog out there that is probably not worth picking up. Oh man, these ones right here. I actually saw one. I almost got a set of those. They weren't there when I went back to get them, and that's okay. It was my loss. So there are so many different kinds, but you guys, here's a Peking glass China food dog set. And then there's going to be food dragons, and there's going to be food serpents, and it just goes on and on and on. She expects me to behave like a grown-up, but then she makes comments that leave. What do you got a mask on for, Ethel? I'm not sharing. Are you serious? Oh my gosh. Hang on. All right. Sorry. Peking glass Chinese food dogs. Aren't these gorgeous? It's not a matter of taste. I mean, would I want them in my house? I don't know. I might want them in with my plants. I might want them in my in the bathroom if I choose to do that. You don't have to have Oriental themed anything just to have something beautiful like this, right? She went down the rabbit hole without us. Okay, I'm going back. Here's the rabbit hole I started at without you. Going right back up here. Do you see these? Wait a minute. Now we're right at the beginning. Okay? You guys, these right here are the same that I have, only mine are white. Same exact dogs. Same exact. Obviously, they're going to get more for these than I'm going to get for mine. But let's see. Made in Japan. There's also a little imprint right here. Good luck trying to do those maker's marks. Like I said, the first link in the description to the YouTube channel for Peter, what's his name? Peter Combs. He's probably the best reference I've found on YouTube. And they have they have free newsletters. Anyway, so let's food dogs. Let's see if they have just a single white set. Here's a set similar to mine, but they're not on the ball. Here's another set similar to mine. Here's just one of mine. So yes, they do sell food dogs, lions, porcelain. They do sell $135. These are similar, but not quite. Mine are standing. So it's just a pair of white ceramic. These, look at this. They're only showing one right here. That's all I'm going to pull up. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? I'm sorry. What would make you in the world think that a set of these, just plain white, would be anywhere near worth $1,100? I get distracted. I get distracted by you guys teasing me in the chat. I'll go back and read later. Don't feel bad if I'm ignoring you. Vintage pair. I think this may be very similar to what I have. It's not. Come on. No. I gotta look here and see. Close, but my tails are different. And that's just where it's at, right? You have to take a few minutes because my tails are open. See that open spot right there? Doot, doot. And Blanc de Chany, whatever. Somebody's trying to be fancy there. Okay, so it's just, I found mine once upon a time. And mine are made in Japan, but just looking at those other ones for $1,100, just white. I mean, honestly, you guys, keep your eyes open. And just because it looks plain, here's a bunch of food dogs in the blue, like I was talking about some of the Chinese pottery. Did you guys know? I saw this piece today. Let's look and see. I don't know. I honestly do not know. It is a antique hat. I don't remember exactly what it was called. All right. Handcrafted. Look at you guys. They look like. I'm trying to find one that has here defined. All right. This one does too. Let's do these. They look almost like an umbrella stand or something like that. But do you know what? You know what these aren't? You're going to see these and you're not going to know what they are. And I'm going to tell you, you're not going to know what they are because I had no clue. I thought they were some kind of a vase. Maybe you put an aluminum inside it. These are literally Chinese porcelain hat stand vase with calligraphy. What they would do, it was so humid. It's so humid over there. When they came in for the night or whatnot, they put their straw hats rested on top of that. Just like we may have the boot dryers that you put your boots in, right? Isn't that freaking awesome? I mean, learn something new every day. I'm all about that. Learn something. I was just like, I never knew that, but pretty sure that I learned that from what's his name too. I should be able to remember his name by now, huh? Peter Combs. Mr. Peter Combs. Oh my goodness. Look at this, you guys. $4,000 they have these listed for, and it's still the Queen dynasty and Mark Queen. That Mark is the same Mark. Oh, this Mark is the same Mark, and this is a really bad Mark. Look at you guys. Do you see how dirty the feet are? And do you see the residue down in here? This is fake, not on these. I'm not saying they will fake this on the newer models and they still use these stamps. From what I saw today, there's no doubt in my mind, but I'm not an expert. Put that in the description, by the way, that these are real. And the ones that I saw when I was doing research earlier today. But yeah, I mean, and you'll see, here we go again, something I started to talk about. Oh, come on. See the serpents? See the food dogs or the food lions for the handles? That is common. They will have the serpents on these vases. They will have the food dogs or the food lions or the food dragons as decorative handles. Almost always. Qing Dynasty mark is usually identifiable, but by what looks like. I'll tell you exactly what it looks like because I have it. If you look what he's talking about right here, right in there. Let's see. I know there's a lag. I'm going to look and see how much of that you can see. Am I close enough? Sorry, I'm concentrating on my other monitor on my other screen because I want you guys to get a good look at that. This one, this particular one will show up on your Google Translate and your Google Lens, and it will take you and tell you. And that, my friends, is actually how I found the one plate like mine. My pitchfork's always is busted and bent. It's been through a few fires. Smart butt. Anyway, so there's so much to learn, but I mean, here we go. Would you look at this? Would you even think to look at this? Just because it has a marking on the bottom doesn't mean anything, but it does. See this E? See this? It looks like a sleeping E. It's got like a little bit of a tail, but it's the right-hand corner. That is a mark, the mark of it's Qing Dynasty Young Hens mark, and the red glaze, red stone glaze. I learned that one today on the other guy's channel. So you're gonna it's just amazing, the little things, but I was so bowled over, I guess, by the hat stands. And why? To them, that they probably have 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot. There's ones that are, but they came in pairs, and they're singular ones, right? The key is when you see these, they're going to have the holes in them. Now, I don't know if they actually, this one, let's see, where's the holes? I don't believe this one is one. That's not what that is. There should be holes in it, because there should be holes just like the other one had. This is, in my opinion, from what I learned today, that's not what that is. Could be wrong. It's happened before. It'll happen again. The hat stands should have holes in them. Come on. See how this has holes? Now, did they put something in the bottom? Sometimes a small amount of candle and burn to help dry out. I don't know either, but I bet it would be. Look at all of these. This one over here does not have that. All of these, and they would make them into lights also. If you see one of these that somebody has turned into a light, I personally would buy it and take it apart. from what I can see of the prices. Yes, very much so, Jeremy. Stone red is what I've heard it referred to by the antique guys, but I mean, look at this. And that's special. Oh, and then holy moly, antique hat stand, vase relief hat stand. Somebody's out of control with their keywords on this one, and it's not me. I can tell you that. Anyway, another thing that I saw today that I want to bring to your guys' attention, because I think we see a lot of people, and I may very well have done it myself because I was uneducated, right? Antique. Look at these. People, I have called these trinket boxes. Many people have called them trinket boxes. I think in that video that I showed part of at the beginning, he talks about these. These are actually food boxes, a food box, and lots of times inside they are separated. Let's see if this one is. This is a Famille Rose. Nope, this one. Sure, there's one somewhere that is. Blue and white landscape covered box. That's what a covered box or a trinket box. But see if I can do a better job of finding. See if I can do better. They had the stacking ones, yes. Here's a rare Tibetan. There's another, there's a whole nother culture, right? Let's see if I do antique. That's that same one. Food presentation. Nope, not what I'm looking for. They're similar to these, right? These are bento boxes, only they'll be famille rose, they'll be rose medallion. Well, let's all right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go again. Let's see if this one opens up. It is not. And they have in here trinket box, all that stuff. That's not what I want. I really want you guys to see one of these because we think of them as trinket boxes. May have to go back to that video to see. You would never know unless you open it. Here's a porcelain basket with an old set. It's just large medallion ceramic box. Let's see if I do. Sorry, I'm not looking at the chat, you guys. Otherwise, I will get distracted. And you all know that. Chinese. Oh, chamber bowls, chamber pots too, very much so. I don't know why those are coming up because they're covered. That's because I put that. Anyway, it would be like a dish that you would put your food in and take to work with you, right? Which they did. I don't think this is, and it would be look just like those bento boxes. Anyway, I'm not doing well at finding what I want to show you guys, but just trust me. I saw it with my own eyes on one of the videos that I watched while doing some research for this. So, let's see. All right. Let's go. So let's go. We talked a little bit about Satsuma. I want to talk about this. Cinnabar and rosewood, carved rosewood boxes. They did armoires, they did dressers, they did trunks. OMG. Look at the prices on these. And just so that you guys know, and I only found this out by accident because I had a guitar, an acoustic guitar of my son's that I was going to list. And I had no idea what kind of wood it was made out of, but because I knew the maker of it, it was rosewood. You cannot sell these internationally. You cannot export rosewood. I don't know about the cinnabar, but rosewood is considered a similar to ivory, right? It's an endangered species as far as wood and stuff like that is. So anything made out of rosewood is not something that you can sell internationally. So keep that in mind if you have any of this or find any of this. Oh, they very well could be, Kathy. They very well could be. Kathy, I can't highlight it. Kathy says, are those the dishes that they would take to the graves of their ancestors? Wildlife, fish and game will stop ya. I couldn't list that. We ended up finding somebody that needed a guitar and gave it to them because that's how I roll. Just always out there throwing money and throwing things at people because why wouldn't I? Throwing money around like it's crazy, right? Money can't take it with you, but we do need it. So just take a gander. I'm still sharing. I can see that on the screen. That was several years ago, Doug, that I found that out. Yeah. So this is cinnabar, Chinese carved cinnabar, and you will find these are just boxes. Round lidded box or jar. They use these for everything. They used them to store food in. They used them for you name it. I just put boxes in here. Let's look at here they have look. How much do you think these things are going for? Many times you will not find a price on these because you either have to estimated seek. I don't know what the changeover is from that denomination to us, but 140 to 100. These items are Bull Kowalski's Nordic design. Let's see if we can find invaluable. Invaluable might tell us. Where the heck did that go? First dibs. Here we go. Wow. $34,000 is what I'm telling you, you guys. People look at these and they look it's overwhelming how much is going on here. And it is so overwhelming to so many people, myself included, that you just walk on by. Well, I think you probably don't want to walk on by $34,000. So if you see something that is Asian and a large piece of furniture like this, and it has any kind of intricacies, you may want to stop and take a look at it. You may want to find out what's going on with it. It just says cabinet. They don't really do too much with their descriptions and stuff on First Dibs, I found. Incredible example of an Asian lacquer carving standing over 7 feet tall. This monumental display shelf was produced in Japan at the end of whatever. And we've seen them. We've all seen them. Hi, Renee. You have a Chinese cinnabar, often and there we go. For believe is the real deal because of the state silk came up. How can you verify it? You can, I don't know if George, the antique nomad, is well versed in these, but I mean, you ought to be able to, it shouldn't be hard. Somewhere on there that has some markings or something. And there are plenty of Facebook groups, Reddit groups that will be more than happy to help you identify it. Does that make sense? It's a perfume snuff. Yep. Oh, that's another thing we need to, do I have that on here? I'm not going to talk too much about Satsuma, except for holy moly, go check it out. The next thing that we're going to talk about real quick, what time is it? Holy moly. See, there's so much. There's so much. There's so much, you guys. I can't even. Scrimshaw. This is Eskimo. And you're going to find it because you're going to find a lot of it, Eskimo. Let's do Asian Scrimshaw art. Carved bovine bone with Asian Scrimshaw. Be real careful. A lot of people are trying to sell off ivory and say as bone. If you don't know what it is, don't list it. Here's a vintage Asian Scrimshaw. Now this, it's usually done on bone. It will be done on walrus tusks, whale bone. I can't believe they only have this at $103. I mean, this pretty cool. Anyway, Scrimshaw. All right, you guys, do a little bit of research on that. If you have some Scrimshaw. Yes, I see a lot of Scrimshaw here. I do. We are going to need an Asian, Chinese, and Japanese antiques and collectible part 2. You love the snuff bottles, usually carved or reversed. Oh, no doubt. Anyway, so let's get to that because let me mark off because that is actually if we have time, we'll come back to Satsuma. All right. Sorry, I can't type and talk. Here you go. Antique, Chinese, snuff, opium, boxes, containers, bottles, drawers, purses, whatever. These things are amazing. The different, look at this. This is at Sotheby's. Snuff bottles, Sotheby's snuff bottle, antique perfume bottle, antique bottles. A ruby red and emerald green glass, Qi Long and show character. I'm sure I ruined that. Snuff bottle, the Qing Dynasty, 18th century. I doubt very much that it's going to tell us anything. Here we go. Look at these. Look at this one. And now we're in Pinterest, which is where that took us. Pinterest can be amazing. It can also be irritating, but I mean, you guys, just look at this sold price of rare Chinese ivory. 8 immortals. That would be these down here. Snuff bottle and stopper, 1800 to 1900. Richard's collection, February 3rd. What did it sell for? Who knows? Sold on Invaluable. February 3rd, 0115. 10 a.m. That's pretty funny. Let's see. Let's see if it tells us anything here. Nope. Anyway, you'll find these. I found a set of ivory spoons, little tiny ones for salt cellars. And the family actually gave them to me because they told me they'd had the salt cellars and the spoons on the shelf. I got there the last day and absolutely nobody knew what they were. And they were thrilled that it was the first thing I saw when I walked in, and I walked right over and I said, "Are the salt cellars for sale?" And they said, "Nope, you get to have them." It is illegal to sell ivory that's dated. You have to know the laws, Constant. And if you follow Don, the auction professor, he does have a video on it that is very detailed. So I don't know if I can find it here real quick. I will post it. But yeah, snuff. The rule of thumb, don't sell it to the person appraising it. If a person that's appraising your item asks you to buy it, walk away and never go back and never ever refer that person ever, because they are not morally, I can't even go any further than that. Whenever you have somebody appraise something for you, they should never be considered ever somebody to purchase that item from you. That is such a breach of moral conduct, whatever the word is. No. What am I looking for? Selling ivory.
Can I have a burger?
Can you have it? Yes, you can have a burger.
Okay.
Selling ivory. Jeremy's going to find it long before I do. He never titles. I'm going to have to let him have it. He doesn't title it. I see it when I search. Thank you, Courtney. I really highly respect Don, and he does a lot of research, and he refers you to other places too. Good night, Mia. Thanks for stopping in. The item is at least 100 years old, and the item was either imported prior to 1982 or after 1982 through one of the 13 ports specifically designated. And you can tell by the there's a lot of different things, but yes, you can sell it, but you need to know what you're selling, and you need to just make sure. And you can, I believe, take it to the Department of Fish and Wildlife in the state of Oregon. You can sell ivory at an estate sale or a garage sale. I know that for a fact. And so selling it privately, that's one thing. Selling it on the open market, that's another thing, right? So if you're going to sell it on the open market, you need to know what you have, and all your I's and T's crossed and dotted and underlined and upside down. I personally just wouldn't do it. I would probably, if I had a big piece of ivory that I happened upon, I would probably take it to a large auction house or a museum and see if they wanted a museum not to donate. You guys, if people are telling you that you have a piece that belongs in a museum and you should donate it to them, all right. Hang on. We have some ginger ale here. Canada Dry. There you go. All right. If people are telling you that the item, had this happen to me several times, that you have belongs in a museum and that you should donate it to a museum, screw them. Do you know how much money museums are given and donated to purchase items to have in those museums? If that's what you want to do with your items that you have, is to donate it to a museum, more power to you. But I'll tell you what, they have private benefactors, they have money. They have money to buy the items. So don't be fooled by that either. That's almost the same thing as having somebody, what Christy said, having somebody, oh man, I cannot talk, look at your item and give you a price on it and then want to buy it from you. That's a no. This snuff is only 2.5 inches tall and very old. I just got a beautiful picture of the signed bottom with my loop. Ooh, good job. Yep. You can lend it to them. You actually can, but don't donate. They sometimes sell their items. There you go. Not only do they sometimes sell their items, there's a group of, as we know, let's look at the King Tut exhibit. It traveled, right? It traveled. There's exhibits that travel. They travel from museum to museum to museum to museum, and each museum is getting a cut of the money and all of that. So now I'm not a horrible person, but I'm just going to tell you that they have money to buy these things. Show of hands, who sold something to a museum on eBay? I'm about to take that book. Those of you who watched my last thrift battle where I went up against T at Auctions for You, and I had that book by Leonard Baskins. Well, upon further research, there is an art site that has one of his books that is parting it out, and just the frontispiece they have sold for over $1,800. Now, I have a double suite. They just have one. I looked at all the pieces that they have of theirs, what they've sold them for, and the few that are left, and I can probably get up to $56,000 for that book that I spent pennies on, that was marked for $14. But because I bought the whole lot, because I bought all of the books, for $100, which she only wanted 50 for a whole room of books. I paid just pennies for that book. And so, yeah, I don't have to do anything to tear it apart. They're already separate pages, and I will be listing those one by one on eBay, and I will list them at the similar prices that this place, and there's a whole Reddit post on it. They will go on the Reddit post, and I will sell my pieces that way. They're all signed by him. They're all numbered. I will go to Staples and I will have a copy made of the COA page, and I will put that in there with them. So there you have it. Had I done better research before my thrift battle, I would be going up against, I would have not lost. But that's what happens when you skirt around and you're busy and you're doing stuff. So, yep, that's right, Courtney. Just wait for that one. I kid you not. I was just like, I sent, I don't know, it was before I went to New York that I figured it out, and I was talking back and forth with Jan over it. The book is, oh my gosh. You guys, here's the book. it's in a sleeve. Inside the sleeve, it's in a mahogany case. This is all linen. Look up Leonard Baskin. Leonard Baskin, ARS Anatomica. Only, I can't remember if it was 28 or 3,800 of these were made. 2,800. 300 of the 2,800 were double suites. So this actual binder itself is mahogany. See that? And each, I'm trying to find a place to set this down. This is what one size of one. This piece right here is basically the COA. It is signed by him in pencil. Yes, there were 2,800 of them made. Of the, let's see, the plates for the printing were made from 13 original drawings. 300 double suites have been placed in box portfolios covered in 1/4 leather and linen. That's what I just showed you. And have been numbered in Roman numerals. Right there. 2,500 single suites have been placed in box portfolios covered in a burga-laid paper and have been numbered in Arabic numerals 1 through 2,500. And all of the papers are watermarked. Where is it? Maybe this one might not. It should be. All of the drawings themselves are on a special paper that's watermarked. $1972. I about died when it pays to hold on to things for a little while and do the research, you guys. 100% pays. This piece, right? So I have, instead of this piece right here, sold for $2,700. Can you see that? This is considered, this is number one ARS. And where is the, I don't know if you can see it or not. I doubt very much. Right down here, there's a huge watermark. Each page. These are selling for crazy. And so I have decided, rather than sell this, as I would get, what I have been seeing was there's about, probably maybe I could get $800 for it. Somebody donated one of those to a museum, by the way. Just thought I'd get there. Not the double suite. Wait till you see the images. Oh, do you want me to show you a better image? Because there's some really cool ones in there. They sold it to Netflix. Sold a vintage dress that was worn in a popular. Ooh, I've sold a lot of stuff to Marvelous Miss Maple and Lady Gaga. I've sold a lot. I sell a lot of stuff too. Anyway, so with loose pieces of art, now I'm inspired. Well, they aren't. It is supposed to go as a suite. And somebody else took theirs apart and sold it. Well, I've got, it's like the double mint twins. I got 2 of everything. And guess what? On top of that, I can sell the book, the empty binder, and the empty slip cover too, because there's somebody out there that needs that, right? Because theirs is ruined or mine's in better shape or something like that. So I have decided, because the book that I bought for $2 and sold to Germany for $2,200, and they probably were going to make close to $100,000 off of it from the plates that were inside it. I know for a fact that they were going to cut up and sell. And I have to get over myself and be able to allow myself to do that stuff, because it's or be okay with $600 as compared to $56,000. What would you do? And also be okay with sharing that with people and opening yourself up to, well, you're whatever they want to say. Well, go out to estate sales, go out, learn these things. That's why I share this stuff with you guys. I don't have anything to hide. I'm an open book. I will cry with you guys. I will laugh with you guys. I will cuss with you guys. I will teach you what I know, whether it's a detriment to me or not, because you may go pick up things and you may be my competition, but you give me $650 for what? For the empty slip cover? You know, there are people out there that have money to buy these things, and there are people out there that don't. I do a lot of things with my money that other people don't. I like to help people. It's my money. So if I wanted to sell this for $56,000 and then maybe help somebody build a tiny house or something like that, or provide something for children that need help, or maybe pay for a year of private tuition for somebody, or maybe I want to be in somebody's live sale and buy something and give it to somebody because I just want to do that. That's who I am. And, so I'm going to sell this piece by piece. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to build a shop. That's what I'm going to do. With some of that money, I'm going to help pay off whatever, or build a bigger shop, because I realized when I was talking to my son the other day, why do I just need to build a shop that goes this way? I can build a shop that goes this way and add an L onto it. Oh my goodness. Watch out, you guys. Anyway, that's what I got for you guys and gals and people and humans. Don't underestimate the power of this and the things that you see that look plain. The things that you see that look plain. Literally, this thing right here was sitting against a exercise machine bike in a basement of an estate sale, where it was actually in the sewing room of all places. And I looked at it twice, and then I was like, what the heck is that? And I went over and picked it up. It weighs almost 12 pounds. It's huge. It's got a lot of stuff in it. So, pick up the odd, pick up the unusual, pick up the stuff that you wouldn't normally pick up. Look through boxes. Look through papers. Get your Scarlet Fever posters. These things right here, I got the whole set. If you watched that video, you saw me go through it. All of them. And they are the old vintage quarantine shall not be removed without permission. When that's all over, rinse your mouth out for some sweet breath. The smoker's best friend. 49 cents a bottle.
Can I help, please?
Can you have some help? Uh-oh. Yeah, that's going to take me a bit. So, just because you don't like it doesn't mean it's not worth something and somebody else won't. Keep that in mind. Some of the things, now I'm going to have to sit here and do this. Some of the things that we see and walk past are quietly calling out to you because they're not something you would look at because they're not something you like. Yes, pick up the stuff you like. If it, definitely pick up the stuff you like, but look at the odd stuff. Go out and check out some of the tools in the garage. You might be amazed at what you would find. Go out and look at the electronics. Oh my gosh. This sale that Terry is trying to guilt me into going to tomorrow. I'm not going. I can't go. You're all going, right. I can't. I have so much. And I have so much to do that I'm lost in my head. Besides, got it. One man's trash is another man's treasure. If it's sold once, it'll sell again. Somebody out there is looking for it. Somebody out there needs it. They lost it. They broke it. They only have a piece of it. Part things out. Pick up things that are broken, that are antiques. You know, everything has a value. So let's go with that to end this off. My best friend Janet in New York, I just went and spent 10 days with her. We had some rocky times. We had some emotional times. She's in a very emotional time right now. She sold her mom's house. She spent 4.5 years working on it, cleaning it out, packing it up. And she knows that she only has a certain amount of space. I did this. I'm not tattling. I went through this when I left the farm. I left so much stuff, you guys. You have no clue. No clue. So much stuff. At some point in time, the worth financially is not worth this and this. You have to walk away. There's pretty much nothing that you can't find again if you need it. And nobody, absolutely nobody, can take your memories from you. So sometimes we have to walk away from a thing or things or lots of things. Sometimes we need to decide, what level of worth is it worth? Is it worth our mental and emotional and physical worth? The sickness that we append upon ourselves if you're in that situation? Or is it worth it just to walk away? If you have people you can call to come and help, or to give, or to, at some point in time, Marie, are you still in here? Marie and Justin Perlette? I can't tell you how much stuff that I have given them, and because I love them and they were there, they helped me. I paid them. I gave them stuff. Whoop, my light almost. Wow. They came. They came when I needed help. They didn't come to get stuff, but they sure did get stuff. I mean, I let them use the U-Haul. They filled my U-Haul up twice and took it down to their place. That's just how it works. Sometimes we need to know it's okay to walk away if you're the one going through that. And then you need to be able to have that person that will not judge you no matter what, that will let you, or you will let them yell at you, scream and cry and get stuff out and walk away, and know that they can turn around and run back into your arms and give you a hug, because that's who they are. I have a couple people like that. We all need those people. Be that person for somebody. It's okay to walk away from stuff, but find the stuff that you like if you're selling stuff, but look for the stuff that you wouldn't normally think about looking for. That's where you're going to find some amazing treasures. Lori, you be quiet. People telling on me. Anyway, I love you guys all so much. Barb, if you're ninjaing in here, I hope you had a great night. If you're not, I'll catch you on the uptake, or if you said hi and I didn't see you, then that's great. Any of you guys that have a channel that have a bolo to look out for, that you can make a video in the next couple of days and get it to Courtney. She's doing a free. Courtney, my bolo video turned out to be 5 minutes. Is that okay, or do I need to make a different one? I already shipped the item. Just saying right now, because I think you're still here. All right, you guys. It's going to kill me. It's all right. I'm used to it. All right, you guys. Listen. Have a great night. I'll see you next week. I'll think about doing a part 2 on this. We'll see what other items I can get us in trouble with. I do have a few things on Cloisonne I did not talk about, so there you go. I fixed it. Who's the best nanny in the whole wide world? You heard it? No, you didn't. He pointed. Love you guys. Talk to you later. Have a great weekend. If you're going out sourcing and you find some cool Asian collectibles, I don't care what they are. I don't care if they're Hello Kitty. What? Put a post on Instagram and tag me in it. I'd love to see it. All right. Bye for now.